Sage here with Hippie from the 49th. We've all heard renewed talk from Trump about Greenland. I miss the days when the United States were our friends. Oh, and now he's talking about Iceland. One comment in particular caught my attention from Stephen Miller. I really have to stop listening to him. What right does Denmark have to assert control over Greenland? What is their basis for territorial claim? So after I had my little rant over the sheer arrogance of dickhead Nazi Miller, I started my research. Because before we talk about ownership, power, or strategic interest, we should probably understand how Greenland got here, who lives there, and how sovereignty actually happened. Excuse the dog. He's having a meltdown because there's construction next door. Let's take a look. Before we even talk about politics or modern borders, we need to get one thing straight. Greenland is not a new place, and it's not some empty island waiting to be claimed. The first humans are believed to have reached Greenland around 2500 BCE. At that time, much of the island was covered in ice, so early migration likely came from surrounding Arctic and Scandinavian regions. By the 9th century, during the rise of the Viking era, Norse explorers from Iceland had settled parts of Greenland. These were Norse Icelandic communities, connected culturally and economically to Scandinavia. Then, around year 12,000, the Greenlandic Inuit arrived. They are the ancestors of the Inuit people who live in Greenland today. They migrated from northern Canada, crossing what's now known as the Nares Strait, bringing with them knowledge, culture, and survival skills uniquely suited to the Arctic. So long before modern nations, treaties, or political claims, Greenland was already home to people, not just once, but continuously over thousands of years. So how did Denmark come to assert control over Greenland? The roots go back to the Denmark-Norway Union, which claimed sovereignty over Greenland based on the arrival of the early Norse settlers. In 1721, Denmark sent Christian missionaries to Greenland. Part of the motivation was religion. There was concern that the Norse settlers who had remained there may have returned to pre-Christian pagan beliefs. These missionaries didn't just bring religion. They baptized Inuit people and helped establish trading colonies along Greenland's coast, tying the island more closely to Denmark economically and politically. When the Denmark-Norway Union later dissolved, Greenland did not become independent. It remained a colony under Denmark, and that colonial relationship continued for centuries. So Denmark's claim to Greenland didn't appear out of nowhere. It developed through settlement, religion, trade, and long-term governance. Fast forward to World War II. When Nazi Germany invaded Denmark in 1940, Greenland suddenly became a highly strategic location for the Allies. In a surprising move, the Danish minister to the United States signed a treaty with the US giving permission to establish military stations on the island. He did this without the knowledge of the Danish government, and as you might guess, he was fired immediately. Despite the controversy, the treaty led to the construction of 14 US bases, which were also used by British and Canadian forces during the war. So Greenland wasn't just a remote Arctic island, it was a key piece of the Allied strategy, long before modern debates about its ownership. In 1953, Denmark officially upgraded Greenland's status from a colony to a country within the Danish realm. Even though about 80% of Greenland is covered by snow and ice, it has developed into a thriving home for both Danish and Inuit communities to live and work together across the island. This change marked a major step toward modern governance, blending Greenland's Indigenous heritage with the administrative structure of Denmark. Since 1958, the United States has operated radar systems in Greenland in cooperation with Denmark and Canada. The main purpose of the Ballistic Missile Early Warning System, or BMEWS, was to detect incoming missiles during the Cold War, giving early warning in case of attack. Over time, most operational control of space and missile warning systems shifted to NORAD. I'm not going to get this right. But the Pituffik Space Base in northern Greenland remains active. Today, it operates under a NATO framework with about 150 U.S. service personnel stationed on the island, continuing Greenland's role in global security. In 2008, Greenland took another major step toward autonomy, becoming a self-governing country with its own local parliament. As part of this change, Danish was replaced by Kalaallisut as the official language, emphasizing Greenland's indigenous culture and identity. However, Denmark still represents Greenland in foreign affairs and security matters, maintaining a cooperative relationship while allowing Greenland to govern its internal affairs. Greenland has a lot to offer the world. While its fishing industry is the largest export, the island is also rich in rare earth minerals and metals. Most of Greenland's exports go to European countries and China, reflecting its role in global trade. But beyond economics, Greenland is a mecca for climate change and ecosystem research, making it critically important for scientists and environmentalists around the world. The people of Greenland today are strong-willed and independent. About 80% are Inuit, and the rest are a mix of Norse and Danish heritage. Most towns and villages are built along the ice-free coast where life is possible year-round. Their culture revolves around the environment. Fishing and hunting aren't just jobs, they're central to survival, identity, and community. Greenlanders have preserved traditional skills like dog sledding, kayaking, and gutting game with the curved blade. And yes, they even hunt muskox. Nothing goes to waste. They use as much of the animal as possible, sell the rest at the local markets, what they don't use at home. Despite what some might imagine, life here is far from dull. People are known for being warm, humorous, and tightly connected to family. They paint their houses in bright, cheerful colors, and their Inuit art is beautiful. Festivals bring the island alive with drumming, dancing, storytelling, and song, complete with elaborate, colorful costumes. At the same time, Greenlanders embrace modern life. Sports like soccer, volleyball, and skiing are popular, and the business sector is growing, showing a society that balances tradition with modernity. If you're liking this content, please hit the like button and subscribe if you haven't already. It only takes a few seconds, and it means so much to helping us get our content out to other viewers. Now, I am going to let you hear from a lady that lives in Greenland and play this short clip that she made.
Dear President Trump, it seems that you didn't hear me the last time, so here I am again. This time because you've appointed an envoy to Greenland, as if our country is something you can manage from afar, as if our future is a project on your desk. Let me be very clear. Greenland is not unclaimed. It is not available, and it is not waiting to be handled by someone you chose. When you make moves like this, you may call it diplomacy. To us, it feels like entitlement, like history repeating itself. Powerful men making decisions about Indigenous land without Indigenous consent. We are not confused about who we are. We are not looking for a new protector. And we are not interested in becoming a strategic asset in someone else's game. We are Greenlandic. We are Inuit. Our relationship with our land is not political. It's ancestral. It is lived. It is earned through generational survival, care, and responsibility in the Arctic. You cannot appoint yourself to our story. So let this be understood plainly and calmly. Stop treating Greenland as an idea. Stop speaking about us without us. And stop acting like our home is yours to negotiate. We have spoken, and we are not going to stop.
Now, before I go, I'm going to play one more short video. This one is just funny, and I thought it was very cute. And sometimes, during times like these, need something to laugh at.
These chippy penguins reacted immediately to unwarranted American tariffs by quickly arming. This fierce fighting force is now working with Greenland to create a ring of ice defending against U.S. aggression.
That was enjoyable. I learned a lot about Greenland. How about you? So when people talk about Greenland as if it's an empty asset, a bargaining chip, or something up for grabs, they're ignoring thousands of years of human history. Greenland is not just ice, minerals, or military positioning. It's someone's home. It's a land of traditions and set in deep culture. It's not something someone could just take because they want it. So to answer dickhead Nazi Miller, what right does Denmark have? Well, because it's been part of Denmark, and Denmark has supported the people and respected them for 1,000 years. This is something the United States could never do. You don't respect the people in your own country. Why would you respect anyone in other countries? As a Canadian, I stand with Greenland. How about you? Let me know in the comments below. And sadly, relying on NATO is a scary thought right now. Mark Rutte is too busy kissing Daddy's ass. Until next time, stay aware, be kind, and stay groovy, y'all. Peace and love.